Judy Crane knows she's a walking miracle.
When you go through an aortic dissection as well as a stroke, and you're still here, you kind of go, there must be a reason why.
After her stroke back in 2005, a long road to recovery, and speech struggles with aphasia, Crane found community with the Scale Aphasia program at the League for People with Disabilities, and she's found a new life mission, making people across our area stroke smart.
Who better to be able to spread the word about Stroke Smart than actual stroke survivors that have gone through a recovery journey?
Crane first heard about Maryland's Stroke Smart program in 2022 when former Governor Hogan signed a proclamation making Maryland a stroke smart state. She brought the idea to Lisa Thornburg at the League for People with Disabilities to see if the League's SCALE program could lead the way in making Baltimore stroke smart, a place where anyone, anywhere can identify the signs of a stroke and call 911.
That would mean in the mall or the bank or walking down the street that someone would understand that this difference in balance or facial expression or speech being slurred is a sign that they need help right away.
Thornburg knows firsthand just how important time is when it comes to strokes.
Ironically enough, both of my parents passed from a stroke, their first stroke, and immediately. One of the phrases we include in our education is time is brain. Up to 4 million brain cells can be lost per minute during a stroke. And depending on how quickly you're able to restore blood flow to those areas of the brain, generally will tell you what your outcome will be.
So Thornburg, Crane, and other stroke survivors use pictures, presentations, videos, and personal stories to teach people signs of a stroke and how to act fast. They've worked with students, senior centers, and other stroke support groups like the one Brandy Bro runs at the University of Maryland Rehabilitation and Orthopedic Unit.
It made me just think more about how we should be having these conversations about what a stroke is and how to spot a stroke and how to respond to a family member or friend that you see that's having a stroke.
So Judy Crane and the rest of the team want every business, every school, every person in Baltimore to become stroke smart, to keep more people from lifelong disability and even save a life.
Well, it's like even if we can, as one person's life, it's so wonderful, it's fantastic. And to be able to do that for people maybe wouldn't have to go through what some of us have had to go to and what some people actually have had to live with disability.
For more information on how you can become stroke smart, you can visit our website. At the League for People with Disabilities, I'm Brianna Ross, WBAL TV 11 News.